speaker. I feel like I don't ever need a microphone because I have a loud voice. My dad can attest, that's been since I was born. So I had planned to put a presentation together for you guys, but then 6-week-old happened, and like, if any of you guys are parents, you know, like newborns are they're so tiny and so demanding. So I'm just gonna I wrote a few things in my notes, and I'm just gonna kind of wing it. Lindsay asked me to share some of my recruiting tips. So I'll share, when people say like, what is it that you're doing? I really don't know. I'm always like, I want to give back to the network, I want to help, but I don't really know what it is I'm doing other than social media. And I feel like it's a little bit boring because there's so much training on social media out there, but I'm just going to share with you the things that I do that work for me. And hopefully you guys can get some takeaways. First, my goal is never, you know, I didn't have any idea that I could have Success Club 250 on average. Last January was our record month, and we had 557 Success Club points a year ago this month, which is just like insane. But I think the reason that I'm able to hit those numbers is because that's never the goal. Like I said when Carl was up here, my business starts and ends with being passionate about Beachbody. When people are like, how do you sell challenge packs? I'm like, are you doing a program? Do you drink our shake? Do you love them? That's how you sell. That's it. I don't feel, when someone's like, how long have you been selling Beachbody? I'm like, selling. I don't sell anything. What I do is something that has completely changed my life. I bounced from diet to diet to diet. I hated the body I was living in. I've never been that much bigger. Insecurity doesn't have a size, right? I've never been that much bigger. I didn't have a huge weight loss transformation, but I still I was at war with my body. I was at war with myself. And my background before Beachbody is kind of depression and insecurity, but it's juxtaposed with always being a dreamer. And so one thing that's always grounded me is when I watch top coaches and I watch their training, one, I do what they say. So I think I could have put together a great training for you guys, but I feel like there's so much training out there, and as a new coach, you can get stuck in watching training after, like trying to learn, trying to just feel ready to post, and not actually doing it. So staying grounded in like doing it and working on yourself first and loving it so much that you just want to share it. And so Beachbody was my solution, and that's how I approach my social media. And it was kind of weird to say in front of Carl, like, my goal is not to get everybody doing Beachbody. My goal is to get everybody living their best life. And if I have people that message me and say, because of you, I joined a gym, or because of you, I started working on myself, and now I have relationship with my husband again, or I can play with my kids, or whatever, and they didn't buy anything from me, that's a win. I don't look at people as Success Club numbers. I don't look at them as commission checks. They're human beings with the same insecurities and struggles with depression and struggles with body image. And, no matter what size you are, my coach is, my adopted coach, the coach that recruited me actually doesn't work the business, but Danielle Natoni, Fit and Funky, she has ripped abs, right? Even she, who is in super great shape and really optimal health, wants to be better, is always looking to be better. So it doesn't matter your size, it doesn't matter your weight. Insecurity is not limited to a size. So first thing is, I don't want you to wake up every day and say, who's gonna give me a yes today? Who's gonna get me on the Success Club board? Who's gonna get me that $40 or $50 commission check? I want you to wake up and say, how can I serve my community today? How can I show up on social media and provide value? And one of the ways that I do that, and here's where I'll give you like a few tips, and some of this is gonna be redundant, because again, there is no secret sauce. You guys know what to do. It's the vital behaviors. Do your workout, drink your shake, post on social media, talk to people, share your story and invite them to join you, and recognize your challengers, your team, whoever it is. If you're a brand new coach and you don't have challengers in the team, recognize other people in your boot camp that you're working with, or recognize people that you're friends with in their newsfeed. Compliment their kids. Everybody loves compliments on their kids, right? Or something they're wearing. There's all kinds of ways to recognize and get that fourth vital behavior in. But show up every day. How can I serve other people, right? So I try to think of 5 things that make me me, that I can be about, that are not Beachbody. So what happens a lot when people become coaches, you join and you want to coach because you love Beachbody. And you've seen some sort of transformation. transformation, physical, emotional, financial, whatever. You join Beachbody and you want to share it with other people. Cool. And then as soon as you start learning about the business, you stop caring as much about why you joined, and you start focusing on the numbers and the goals. And then it sucks the joy right out of sharing this thing that's changed your life and the whole reason you started in the first place, right? So I want you to be about 5 things that are not Beachbody. So for me, and they change, they're fluid, but this is where you are allowed to be whatever you want. And what I see a lot of people doing is coming in and saying, I'm a coach now, I have to be perfect. I don't share my struggles. I don't share when I slip up. I'm only going to show my perfect eating plan, and I'm only going to show my transformation when I feel confident. People don't relate to perfection. Every single person that is watching you has, I don't know if there's kids in here, but cussing is a part of my brand. But everyone that's watching you has shit going on behind the scenes. Everybody has crap. Right? Nobody that's watching you is perfect. So if you show a picture of perfection, nobody relates to that. You're too far from, like, they're sitting here in their mess and their turmoil and their insecurity, and you're over here looking like workouts are easy and the meal plan's easy and you're dropping weight and everything's happy and you never have a bad day, and they're like, well, I don't know how to bridge that gap. So you have to share authentically your journey. Part of my story, like I said, is swear words. Or my brand is swear words. Part of my brand, guys, I'm a health and fitness coach whose brand involves drinking. That's literally one of my 5 things. I had to take 9 months off for her, but it is a part of my brand. So you can be whatever you want. The unicorn thing, I think, started when I had pink and purple hair. That was a part of my brand. It's become a little bit less of my brand, but I still love unicorns. And then the self-love thing. So I feel like the other thing is health and fitness coaches. You probably follow a bunch of other fitness people who are in great shape, and you're comparing yourselves to them, and you're thinking that, you can't inspire people the way they do because you don't have that body. I feel like there are more people out there that are insecure than are totally secure with their bodies, right? So if you're trying to get to this level where you're ripped before you can communicate with people, you're missing it. So part of my thing is self-love. I don't go after, the abs and the people that just want to physically work on themselves. We focus a lot in my challenge groups on personal development. I talk about personal development being fitness for your mind, the same way exercise is fitness for your body. So you have to, work on your mind. I get them reading personal development because really the honest truth is if you fix up here, the body takes care of itself. So get your challengers working on that, but come up with 5 things that make you you, and it might take some time to figure out what that is, but talk about those things outside of Beachbody, because yes, you're a Beachbody coach, but you're so many other things, and you can be. We are not here to sell fitness programs and shake. You're really here to sell yourself, and there is nobody else in the world like you, but there are a ton of people who are very similar, who will connect with exactly you. If you look at the people in the top 10, we're all so different. And we all need to exist to help that group of people, right? Like the people that Danielle, who is super ripped and super fit and like very clean eater, the people that she talks to are gonna be different than the people I talk to, because I'm talking to people who are going, we're going to a brewery after this and I'm planning to have a lot of French toast and like whatever I want, so we're talking to very different people, and that's okay. So whoever it is that you want to talk to them. And that's the other thing that I think is really important, and it's a little bit different about the way I do my social media, is I story tell. I don't ever make a post that isn't really talking to me, whether it's me today, the confident Ashlie, because the me that came into this was not a confident Ashlie. I never would have come up on stage without some sort of practicing and frantic. The champagne helps because I'm still not a fan of public speaking, but who you see now is not who started in Beachbody 4 years ago or whenever I started. I worked really hard on confidence, confidence and growing just my belief in myself, but I lost my train of thought. I don't know, did someone tell me what I was saying? This is apparently a new mom thing I'm learning. It was pregnancy brain, but then people said it doesn't go away. What was I saying? Storytelling, yes, thank you. Okay, so storytelling. So I'm either talking to myself today or I'm talking to myself myself of the past. And the myself of the past was the person that was insecure and checking boxes. I was going through the motions. On paper, looked like I had everything, right? I had my dream job. What I had always wanted to do was work for Nike, and I got the job at Nike. I was married to this guy that I'm in love with and obsessed with. We had a house. I had great friends. I looked really happy on the outside, but inside I was really struggling. So I'm either writing a post to that Ashlie or I'm writing a post to this Ashlie. And what's tempting when you become a Beachbody coach is you try to write a post to appeal to everybody. And this photo up here, the side-by-side, is, some of you guys may have seen that. That was the one that went viral. I know you see all of these all the time now, because it's like huge. But this was last November, so a year and, 14 months ago. And there weren't as many of these then, but that went viral. And I remember when it started blowing up, and it was seen by probably like 100 million people or something like that. So I remember it started blowing up, and I started getting in my head thinking, okay, but now I have all these new people. I don't want to turn them off, so let me just stifle myself a little bit. Let me pull back on the swearing and pull back on and just try to appeal to everybody. But you've heard this before, if you're talking to everyone, you're talking to no one. So I had to keep getting in my brain and say no. And there's a swear word in the caption of that post, and I intentionally never changed it, and I never boosted that post because they don't let you boost posts that you swear in. But I left it because I figured that would turn some people off, right? And I used the block button like a mofo. You are so insecure in your own mind that you don't need negativity. And when I talk to my team and they're like, this person did this, I'm like, block them. Block. Like I block all the time. Get out. You're clearly not my tribe, right? Like you are not my people. I put something up the other day and these people were super offended. Block. Because if you're offended by a joke, you are not my people. There is somebody out there that is for you, but I am not your person, right? It's funny, I'm not religious at all, but someone emailed me the other day and her email was like, Lindsay, daughter of Christ at whatever, and I'm like, how interesting, because I'm very spiritual, but I'm not religious, and I just thought, it's interesting she connects to me, because that's clearly something that's very important to her, but what's cool is she might connect to part of that, and then if she joins my team, she's going to connect to a whole new audience who is religious, and that's a very big part, and that's cool, so I just feel like you need to storytell, you need to talk to your current self, or yourself when you first found Beachbody, and maybe that's the same person because maybe you just found Beachbody. But every single post, I'm not thinking, what are they gonna think? I'm thinking, how would Ashlie receive this? If Ashlie saw this today, and I'm thinking while I'm writing it, which Ashlie am I talking to? So how would Ashlie receive this? Not will someone be offended, it's would Ashlie have been offended? Or would Ashlie have thought this is funny? I'm talking to myself because really, your vibe attracts your tribe, right? You guys have heard that? You don't need everybody out there, you need your people. And that also means you're gonna lose some people. You're gonna get some unlikes and you're gonna get some haters. That's why I block, because you can get 100 nice things and that person that says one bad thing, that's the one that sticks. That's why I block them. I don't give airtime because I don't need it. I already have enough insecurity and doubt in my mind, right? And all of you do too. So get rid of those people that are not your tribe. Speak to you, because it's gonna pull those people in that are your tribe, that are your people. And then I don't use Beachbody terminology, ever. I try not to. I don't say what workouts I'm doing on social media. I don't say that I'm a coach. But I do let people know that I have a boot camp that I can help them with. And the reason I do that is because, again, I'm talking to my Ashlie. If I was following someone who inspired me, who wanted to, who made me want to get fit or something, if they told me what they were doing and where I could get it, I would go Google it and I would go get it. I would not reach out to them. So the reason, hold on, I need water. But the reason that I don't share, is because I'm not here to sell Beachbody. Beachbody is the thing, like I've said, that works for me. It's the vessel, it's what I plug people into to see if it can be the thing that works for them. But I don't sell Beachbody. I sell the thing that works for me. I sell me. So I don't talk about the program because I don't want people going and Googling and then buying it and not having the support and having it sit on the shelf and saying, well, Beachbody doesn't work. Well, you just didn't have the support, you didn't have the connection, you didn't have someone help you with things, right? So I don't talk about that. I don't say the word challenge group. Nobody knows what that means. I don't say the word challenge pack. I don't say any of those things because I think it's important that people have to come to you. And you don't have to sell anything. You don't have to drop those names. I don't tell, even when I'm communicating in my messaging, they don't know what program they're buying until they go and click on the link to buy it. Because it's me. They're buying, I am the biggest value. And when you think that $160 is expensive, one, you need to do more personal development. Two, you need to work on your belief in this company. You need to work on refresh your memory of why you wanted to coach in the first place and how this changed your life. Because by you not sharing, and you think, like Carl says, what is it, it's 36 people a year? I mean, give me a break. You guys can find 36 people a year. If you think you can't, you're not doing personal development, or you're not believing in the product and yourself enough. That's it. There is, and people are like, oh, the market's so saturated. There are people, and I don't know about you guys, when I talk to them all the time, people are like, what do you do? I'm a Beachbody coach. Ever heard of Beachbody? No. Tons of people all the time are still like, I haven't heard of Beachbody. The market is not saturated. If you are running up into objections, it's in your mind. If you think $160 is expensive, then you are approaching it, and even if your words don't say that, people can feel your apprehension. You have to think like a CEO before you are a CEO. You have to act like you are a huge value. This $160, whatever, they're getting they're getting 30 meals with that. They're getting a year-long membership to a gym. Cool, that's great. That's an amazing deal, but they're getting you. They're getting something they can't get anywhere else, and until you believe in yourself, you're gonna keep getting those objections. But when someone says no to me, cool, that's fine. For me, that's their loss. That's not my loss, right? So I just keep in my lane. I keep posting, I keep talking to myself, sharing my story. I share my vulnerabilities. So where this viral photo came from was last year, 2016, we got pregnant, we had a miscarriage, and I just kept eating and doing whatever, and gained a bunch of weight. Then Quarter Force came out. So in the left photo, you're probably familiar with this. But you do a program and you're like, okay, I'm feeling good. I'm starting to see results. And you try to take a picture and you're like, this damn camera is not capturing how I look. What the heck? So that's what I'm doing. You do your pose and you stand on your toes and you angle, you do the hips and all these things to make yourself look better. And I was like twerking the crap out of my body. And I had this moment of like, well, why? Because if I'm struggling and I feel good, what are the people that are seeing this doing, right? They are normal human beings. So instead I sat down, this is not a before and after, I sat down and I said, this is actually, if I'm gonna show you the pose, poise, and put together, I'm gonna show you the real raw one too. And I think that it resonated because they weren't all over the internet back then, and also it was a fitness person showing a real side. So you show your vulnerabilities. And whenever I struggle with something in my life, I cannot wait. I was just talking to a coach about this recently. I cannot wait. I literally go through my brain like I can't wait to share this on social media. Social media is my therapy. And if you feel like you're too scared to put yourself out there, I'm gonna check time. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up here. But if you feel like you're too scared to put yourself out there, I was insecure when I found Beachbody, right? I was more than insecure. There was a time where, for about 6 months, where I was suicidal. And I cried every day. And the only reason that I didn't take my life is because of my dad, honestly. Because when I found Beachbody, there's so many different kinds of depression, but the kind that I had was I felt worthless. I felt like my life didn't matter, and I felt like people, like my husband, would be better off without me. He'd be better off with a different wife. That my best friend would be better off with a different friend, right? So if you sit there and you say, I'm too nervous to share, look at me today. What if someone didn't share this with me? I don't even know if I would be here, I don't know if I would be on this stage, on this planet, if somebody didn't share Beachbody with me. I don't know. So, social media is my therapy, and if you are insecure and you're not sure if you can help people, guess how the way is to learn that you can help people? By helping them. Right? So you have to put yourself out there, you have to invite them, you have to put your ego aside and stop thinking about what are people gonna think of my post? Is this gonna resonate well? Stop kissing your shake and stop every single day just doing your diary of here's my sweaty selfie. Talk about your life. Share your life. When I started sharing my depression and history, it opened it up to a whole new audience. And when I share, struggles with my mom, I had to cut my mom out of my life, it opened it up to a whole new audience. And I don't do that all the time. I think you do need to be a ray of sunshine in people's news feeds, because everybody blasts, it's like cool to complain about your job, and it's like cool to work for the weekend, and it's cool to say how busy you are and just complain, but be different. Be the one who isn't complaining all the time, but who still shows up and shows, I'm real and I have struggles. So if there's anything I want you to take away from this, I want you to take away that this world and our community and the people around you need you. They don't need me, they don't need Melanie Mitchell, they don't need Amy Silverman, they need you. And you could be the one thing that is stopping someone from finding the thing that changes their life. This literally has changed everything about my life. Emotionally, financially, mentally, and it's changed my husband's life, it's changed my daughter's life. She doesn't even know, right? But her life's gonna be so different now because of Beachbody. So let this change your life, and don't be the thing that stands in the way of it changing someone else's. And it all starts with showing up authentically, shining your light on the world, knowing you're gonna get people that don't like you, and being okay with that. Because when you get people that don't like you, that means you're doing something right, and then the people that love you are going to start filing in, they're going to trust you, and they're going to be signing up. And you won't have to think about Success Club points or commission checks or any of the numbers, because if you take care of serving your community and working on yourself, that stuff takes care of itself. The numbers come, Success Club happens. Number 2 coach happened because I'm talking to human beings. I'm not talking to Success Club points, and I'm doing it every single day. When I have shitty days, when I have great days, when I'm on my diet, when I'm off my diet, when I'm doing whatever it is that I'm doing. So, if you have any other questions for me, I'm always open. Just, come say hi, and I can help with whatever. But I hope that you go home and you feel a little more convicted in who you are as a person, knowing that you are needed. And that's all.